Gold leaf. It's luxurious, it's timeless, and today it's making its debut in my studio. Or it might be a complete freaking disaster because I've never tried gold leaf over acrylic painting before, so I have no idea what to expect. But hey, you get to see the process either way. Welcome back to the studio. I'm Anastasia Mack, and I'm all about finding Zen through expressive painting. When I took art classes as a kid in Ukraine in the 80s and early 90s, gold leaf was seen as fancy. Then I remember the trend moving towards silver bling, and all of a sudden gold was seen as kinda tacky. Recently, the use of gold leaf in contemporary art has seen a big resurgence, probably because gold accents do appeal to the eye, and humans will always like shiny things anyway, just in different colors, depending on the decade. Or maybe we're all just trying to party like it's 1910 and bring out our inner Gustav Klimt by mimicking his glistening, gliding art flair during his golden phase. Depending on the effect I'm trying to achieve in my work, for me personally, gold-colored acrylic paint just doesn't shine brightly enough sometimes, dang it. And I'm not opposed to trying something new, as long as it's not every time I make art, because that can be just overwhelming. So I decided not to mess around and got the real stuff. A genuine, expensive 24 karat pack of these super thin sheets to see how I can waste them. Or enhance the painting with them, that is to be determined. First off, I had to come up with a painting subject for my gold leafing. A leafless tree with mosaic-like branches seemed like a decent compositional fit. The gold will shine through the branch openings like a warm sunlight, inviting the viewer to step into the landscape. That's the plan, at least. And as for color, what goes with gold? Well, gold is essentially a shade of warm yellow, so I'd say complementary cool tones. I'm gonna make my tree palette full of blue, violet, and vibrant magenta. Working with real gold leaf on this, it's gonna be interesting. Here's what I expect. It is very delicate, so I heard. It runs away when you sneeze. It's hard to cut, and it is so thin that it sticks to your fingers simply because of oil on your skin. And then the flakes fly everywhere, looking like a glitter bomb went off in your studio, yay? And can gold leaf be varnished without losing its luster? I don't know. I've gotten mixed answers from artist friends on this topic, so today we're gonna test this out too. By the way, if you're passionate about expressive painting, be sure to hop on my website and get on my email list to stay updated on the art tips and new work. And I even have a digital freebie there to give away to you for signing up. The painting is now all finished, and I get to open this. These are tiny. Oh my goodness. Ooh. This is what it looks like. I think it will go well. No instructions provided, by the way. This is the only thing that was inside their business card. So as I'm going through the process, I'm simultaneously reading online instructions on how to actually use gold leaf. And I've learned that genuine true gold leaf actually cannot be varnished because varnish will tarnish it. So I had to pause here for a few minutes and add extra enhancements to my painting, like a few paint pen lines. I was going to add those enhancements in the end after applying my gold leaf, but now the process is reversed. I've added all of my enhancements. I'm going to apply some varnish to the painting. I've already spray coat varnished it. And then on top of my final varnish coat, I'm going to start the gold leafing process. Here comes the varnish before putting on the gold leaf. I'm gonna open this gold leaf adhesive. Ooh, it is super sticky. Varnish is dry, yay! The next step is applying gliding adhesive. So all the pieces that I plan to leaf, I marked in beige. Little section here between tree branches. And according to the instructions, the gliding adhesive has to be applied to them and then dry clear. And I'm going to gently cover these areas. It's kind of hard not to get too much of it on my brush. And you really have to stay within the lines here. Otherwise, the gold leaf will also go into the places that you messed up. Oh my god, I'm trying to be so careful right now. Last one, I think. Well, for someone who has never tried gold leafing, I would say, I think the important part here is to not overdo it. So I have filled in a few of the spaces between branches with my adhesive. I try to be careful to not do too many. Hopefully that will be the right amount. But the only way to know is to see the final result. Now I have to wait for this adhesive to dry clear. Right now it is still white, so I think I have about 15 more minutes left or so. We'll see what happens. While the adhesive is drying, since this gold leaf is so pricey, I'm going to try cutting it into smaller strips so I don't waste any of it. And I may be making a big mistake here. I don't think you're supposed to cut it with scissors, but I try the easiest route first, and then I see what happens. This may very well just stick to my scissors and not work out. Oh, ooh, Well, it's kind of sort of working. You want to use really sharp scissors. These are sharp-ish. If they were sharper, it would be even better. Professionals cut it with an X-Acto knife, I'm pretty sure. Professionals also use tweezers for grabbing these pieces, but this will do for now, for my first ever try. Alright, I got some tweezers here. I'm improving my technique. The glue now has dried clear, although it's also hard to tell. Is my paint white underneath or is the glue still white? But I'm pretty certain that the glue has dried clear now. And here goes, wish me luck! I hope I don't mess this up. This one goes up here. Oh my gosh. I don't know what just happened. Something has smeared. Oh my goodness, it is so delicate. It is so, so delicate. Once it goes on, it cannot be shifted, turns out. Stay. This one is not behaving. Oh, well, that's a mess. Okay, forget it. It's like it's falling apart as I'm handling it. Gold leaf is prissy. A gentle tap. Tap, tap. I don't know if this one can be applied. Oh my goodness. This will possibly work, we'll see. Still have quite a few more sections to cover. I can see it cracking underneath. Man, I'm gonna have to cut into the new sheet, but I'm kind of getting the hang of it now. Alright, here goes a brand new sheet. I think all the areas have been covered, so let's put a piece of paper over it and press down on it really, really hard. And I'm gonna use a roller here for good measure. So now, I don't know. I may have used too much adhesive, despite me trying to make the layer as thin as possible. Or did I not let it dry long enough? Any professional gold leafers watching this? How does it look to you? Does it look like crap? Or does it look nice? Now the attempt of careful removal. Oh my god, it's gonna be a disaster. Ew. This is not good. I wonder if I can put another gold leaf layer on top of it. Essentially, gold leaf right now is everywhere but the area where I want it to stick. This is so stupid. Okay. Well, the good news is that the gold leaf has adhered quite well to my painting. It just didn't adhere in places where I wanted it to. But it stuck everywhere else, despite this varnish being completely dry to the touch. The gold leaf had stuck to the varnish, and it did not adhere well at all to the parts that were covered with adhesive. It looks really dull in those areas. Well, as far as gold leaf projects go, this one was a complete fail. But this painting is not a fail. No, 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 no. I worked really hard on this painting, so I'm going to do my best to bring this disaster to a wonderful piece. Let's see how that can be done. At first, I covered the bad parts with extra layers of gold leaf, but that did not seem to do the trick. They were not looking good. So I had to resort to option 2. I grabbed painter's tape and carefully removed as much gold leaf as possible from this entire piece. I'm now licking my wounds from this experiment, but hey, I also have a clean slate. Well, it is safe to say that my first attempt at gold leafing did not work out so well, and I sacrificed a couple of pricey sheets of gold leaf. But did I sacrifice this painting? Absolutely not. This painting is still rocking. It is going to turn out to be amazing. I was able to remove all the excess gold leaf with masking tape, and it's ready for another round. I think the mistake I made in my gold leaf experimentation so far is not being patient enough. I simply didn't wait long enough for the gloss varnish to cure. I waited several hours, but it wasn't enough time. And I didn't wait long enough for the gold leaf adhesive, which is called size. Why is it called size? I'm not sure. To settle and to become tacky, but not too sticky. So now I have removed the adhesive areas. I have smoothed them out and sanded them just a little bit. And I'm going to give it another try. I'm going to see what I can do to make this painting its most beautiful self. Let's go ahead and see how this ends now, okay? The second application of gold leaf adhesive was done way more carefully and in a much thinner layer. I also allowed for a longer time for it to settle before starting to place these delicate pieces. The process of cutting them up into little slices was a pain again, but little by little it worked out. Turns out gold leaf is a delicate material, and also turns out I'm just not a delicate person. Covering them with paper and going over the area with a roller ensures that they adhere even better. And here's the nerve-wracking reveal. But actually, it looks much more solid this time. With the exception of all those extra gold leaf flakes that got stuck in the surrounding branches from my first round and did not budge with the masking tape. So to clean it all up, I grabbed some paint and went over the gold spill. Acrylic paint can go on top of water-based varnish, so is a smooth fix. Just time-consuming, of course. Well, I've cleaned up the painting by painting over the branches one more time and removing and covering up the little bits of gold leaf that were left behind. And now this piece is starting to come together. The gold leaf is more neat than it was in the beginning when I applied it at first time. And it is sort of coming through the negative space just like I planned it. And it's almost playing a bit of a trick on the viewer by making you believe that the gold parts are an object when they are, in fact, negative space between the branches. And this is the effect I was going for. But I have made a couple of discoveries. The texture right now of the paint, of course, is matte. However, the gliding adhesive that this gold leaf was applied to is staying soft and a little tacky, and it's been this way for a couple of days. It hasn't changed, it hasn't hardened, and I feel like that makes this gold leaf a little vulnerable to being scratched or vulnerable to leaving marks if someone really like digs into it with their finger. Not that they should, because it's an original piece of art, but people do sometimes touch art a little too much. And even though the gold leaf is shining nicely, I'm afraid it's going to be not as durable as I was hoping that it would be. And also, the glossy level of the gold leaf is pretty different from the painting. If you can see the painting where the painting has been varnished, it's pretty glossy. And the gold leaf, even though it is reflective, it is really shiny, it's actually not very glossy. It's kind of matte, more cloudy than the rest of the painting. So it doesn't really match the overall sheen of this artwork. So what I did, I have actually reached out to the manufacturer of the gold leaf and the gliding adhesive, Barnabas is what they're called, to ask, hey, why is this gliding adhesive staying soft? And when is it going to harden? How many days? And they told me that this water-based gliding adhesive actually never fully cures. It stays a little soft and tacky forever and ever. And even though gold leaf itself will not tarnish, because this is a genuine 24 karat gold leaf, so it doesn't have any additives in it like copper or other metals that could be subject to oxidation. So the gold leaf itself will stay shiny, but it is okay, they said, to seal this gold leaf just to protect the surface from accidental wear and tear. And they have informed me that water-based sealant is fine to use over gold leaf. So then I did a little test, and I took the little test canvas piece where I applied gold leaf to, and I varnished it with two different types of varnish. O stands for oil-based, which is on the right, and W stands for water-based, which is on the left. I don't know if it's visible to you right now, but the water-based varnish has dried quite well over the gold leaf. It hasn't really compromised its gold essence that much. It's been dry for a couple of days, and it's sealed and very well protected. So based on all this information, I'm going to go ahead and actually cover this whole painting in another layer of water-based glossy varnish. So after not knowing what to do and how to treat my gold leaf, making decisions on the go, and filming this whole thing, bringing you guys together with me on this experiment, I decided that the gold leaf is going to be varnished. And wish me luck, but I have faith that this painting is going to come out looking wonderful, because right now, texture-wise, to me, it looks unfinished. One more varnish layer now. Here we go. Hopefully this is the last step to end my gold leaf experiment with this painting. Okay, now it's going to dry for at least one full day to ensure that the essence of the gold was not affected by varnishing it. And then I'm going to share the results with you, and I cannot wait. Okay, the varnish has dried for 2 days now, and here it is. Here's the result. The final result. I have put this painting into a basic contemporary frame so that the frame doesn't distract from the gold embellishments, and it looks actually pretty good. It has a little bit of texture where the adhesive was applied, but the texture goes along with the rest of the acrylic painting. And now that it has been varnished, the sheen of the painting is very uniform. It doesn't draw attention too much to the gold enhancements. I'm pretty satisfied with the result, even though this gold leafing journey was a lot more aggravating than I expected. Only a couple of weeks after filming this, here are the lovely new owners of the painting. Well, thank you for joining me in this trial and error of my first time gold leafing process, mostly error. But in the end, it worked out okay. I have never before filmed something in art making that I have not attempted. So hopefully this will encourage you to also make plenty of mistakes as you find your path with art creation. There are a few things I would do differently next time with gold leafing, and there are: first, I would not varnish the painting before applying gold leaf to my acrylic piece. Second, I would thin the gold leaf adhesive with water a little bit, because after contacting the manufacturer of the adhesive, that is what they recommended, it turns out. Thirdly, I would wait a little bit longer for my adhesive to settle after applying it. The recommended time from the manufacturer is about 15 to 30 minutes, but I would give it 40 minutes or so to ensure that the liquid has settled. And lastly, this is not something that I have to correct, but I would continue to coat gold leaf with water-based varnish for acrylics, because it does protect the delicate surface that gold leaf gives you. And yeah, gold leaf is everything they say it is. Is it expensive? Yes. Is it sensitive? Yes. Does it stick to everything? Yes. Does it blow away when you sneeze? Yes. Is it hard to handle? Yes. Is it hard to apply? For me, yes. Did I enjoy it? No. However, you don't have to enjoy everything in the art making process. Some of it actually has to be work. Would I do it again? Yes. I still have this whole booklet of gold leaf to use if I don't mess it up with my fingers like I'm doing right now. And I'm going to play around with applying it again to other acrylic paintings. But also, I'm going to try imitation gold leaf to see how it compares with the real stuff. So keep an eye out for that on this channel. I appreciate you being here, and if you enjoy watching the expressive acrylic painting process, make sure to hit a subscribe and also check out this other video below. See you there!